Welcome to our Trump Briefing Show. Today, we're diving into some exciting news from around the globe. First up, King Charles III is heading to Canada for a short but impactful visit, where he'll deliver the throne speech in Ottawa, alongside Queen Camilla. This marks his 20th trip to Canada and his first as king, amid rising U.S. tensions and political discussions about sovereignty and trade. It's a big moment for the UK-Canada relationship, with community events and important meetings on the agenda. Next, in Germany, the government is seriously considering bringing back mandatory military service, a move prompted by security concerns following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Defense officials are working on new legislation to expand military capacity, aiming to meet NATO commitments. Meanwhile, Germany faces internal security issues, including a recent knife attack in Hamburg and rising right-wing extremism online, leading to tighter border controls and political debates. Finally, in Ukraine, Russian forces launched their largest air attack of the war, firing hundreds of drones and missiles at key cities, killing at least 12 people. The strikes caused significant damage and increased international calls for action. President Zelensky urged the U.S. to speak out against Russia's aggression, as tensions continue to escalate in this ongoing conflict. Please continue to watch for more detailed stories and updates. The Independent vividly recounts the ongoing struggle for racial justice and police reform in America, 5 years after George Floyd's death. Floyd's uncle, Selwyn Jones, reflects on the slow but meaningful progress made since 2020, emphasizing the increased openness in discussing race and policing, and the legal strides such as bans on chokeholds. Yet, he laments that data shows a disturbing rise in police-involved killings of people of color, with 2024 marking the deadliest year in over a decade. Jones remains resolute, advocating for measures like the Medical Civil Rights Act and innovative tools like the Myth Panic Button app, to ensure accountability and protect vulnerable communities. Despite setbacks, his unwavering fight underscores the enduring spirit of the movement, with remembrance events planned across Minneapolis to honor Floyd's legacy and push for continued change. South China Morning Post vividly captures the regal and diplomatic spectacle of King Charles III's upcoming visit to Canada amidst rising U.S. tensions. As President Trump floats the idea of making Canada the 51st U.S. state, Charles's brief yet impactful trip underscores the importance of sovereignty and trade amid this geopolitical swirl. The king, battling cancer but undeterred, will deliver the historic throne speech at Parliament's reopening, a rare event last undertaken by Queen Elizabeth in 1977. Accompanied by Queen Camilla, Charles's itinerary includes community celebrations, tree planting at Rideau Hall, and a grand carriage procession to the Senate, all symbolizing his commitment to strengthening Canada's identity and unity. This visit, his 20th to Canada, highlights a delicate balancing act of diplomacy, national pride, and the subtle assertion of monarchy's enduring influence, even as external pressures from the U.S. threaten to complicate the political landscape. Deutsche Welle vividly details Germany's pressing military and political challenges amid a tense international climate. Defense Minister Boris Pistorius signals the possibility of reinstating mandatory military service, a move driven by the need to bolster an army weakened since 2011 and to meet NATO obligations following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Simultaneously, Germany's finance leaders call for urgent talks with the U.S. over President Trump's threatening tariffs, which could escalate global economic instability. Amid these tensions, Germany's sports and cultural scenes continue to thrive, with Stuttgart winning the German Cup and Bavarian Premier Soder defending traditional pork festivals against animal rights protests. Meanwhile, Germany grapples with internal security issues, including rising right-wing radicalization among youth and a recent knife attack at Hamburg's train station, prompting calls for advanced surveillance and community vigilance. These intertwined stories portray a nation at a crossroads, balancing its historical values, security concerns, and evolving geopolitical realities. The Deutsche Welle article vividly illustrates the profound impact of President Trump's decision to shut down Voice of America, VOA, especially in Turkey, a country where press freedom is rapidly deteriorating. Once a vital source of balanced and uncensored news, VOA's Turkish service was a beacon for many who relied on it for insights into U.S.-Turkish relations and domestic developments. The shutdown not only silenced a crucial independent voice but also symbolized the broader suppression of free media in Turkey, where the government exerts control over approximately 90% of major outlets and has banned VOA's Turkish website. As journalists face imprisonment and threats, VOA's role in exposing government repression and connecting civil society to the outside world became even more significant, making its abrupt closure a blow to transparency and democratic discourse in a hostile environment. The Yahoo US article expands on the broader ramifications of Trump's aggressive approach to federal contracting, revealing a sweeping effort to cut costs by reviewing and terminating thousands of government contracts. This initiative, launched in February, has already led to the cancellation of nearly 3,600 contracts worth billions, including vital services supporting veterans, disaster relief, and public health. The chaotic process has caused layoffs, frozen hiring, and uncertainty across the Washington metropolitan area's extensive shadow workforce, raising concerns about the potential for unintentional cancellations of essential programs. Critics warn that these broad, often indiscriminate cuts threaten the stability of crucial government functions, risking the loss of quality services and the erosion of a system that depends heavily on private contractors for operations once managed by federal employees. The South China Morning Post details Russia's devastating aerial assault on Ukraine, marking the largest attack of the war with a barrage of 367 drones and missiles that killed at least 12 civilians and wounded dozens more. The attack targeted multiple cities, including Kiev, Kharkiv, and Mykolaiv, causing widespread destruction and fear. Ukrainian President Zelensky's call for stronger international sanctions underscores the urgency of halting Russian aggression, especially as efforts for a ceasefire falter amid the ongoing conflict. The report captures the relentless brutality of Russia's tactics, with Kiev narrowly avoiding casualties despite the massive barrage, while other regions suffer significant losses. The attack exemplifies the ongoing toll of the war, with Ukrainian resilience tested as they confront an unyielding adversary determined to continue its assault despite international condemnation and efforts to broker peace. CNN reports that First Lady Melania Trump has embraced the burgeoning role of artificial intelligence in media, releasing an audiobook of her memoir narrated entirely by an AI-generated version of her voice. This milestone symbolizes a broader trend where AI technology is increasingly used to produce voiceovers, videos, and even interactive content, blurring the lines between human and machine-created media. Experts like Clay Shirkey highlight that while AI's impact on jobs won't be immediate or uniform, it is unmistakably shaping the future of media production, prompting industry insiders to explore AI replicas of personalities and new forms of viewer engagement. With advancements from companies like Google and OpenAI making realistic audio and video generation more accessible, traditional media roles are likely to evolve, with some tasks being replaced or augmented by AI, leading to a potential shift in employment practices and creative workflows. The Toronto Star describes the convergence of diverse pride communities in Washington, D.C., as they come together amid a climate of heightened threats and discrimination against marginalized groups. Attendees at World Pride are navigating an environment where anti-immigrant, racist, and anti-LGBTQ sentiments are fueled by policies from the Trump era, making their gatherings not just celebrations of identity but acts of resilience and political resistance. The event showcases a tapestry of pride celebrations, Black Pride, Latinx Pride, Trans Pride, and others, each emphasizing the importance of community, safety, and activism. Leaders like Frankie Miranda and scholars such as Susan Appleton emphasize that these intersecting identities face compounded challenges, urging Pride organizers to incorporate political action, especially with upcoming elections, and to focus on local strategies for safeguarding rights and fostering solidarity in the face of ongoing adversity. Yahoo US highlights the contradictions in South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem's rhetoric versus her actions regarding fiscal responsibility. While she publicly advocates for responsible management of taxpayer money, reminding lawmakers that the government's funds belong to the people, her recent use of a state credit card for personal travel, book tours, and political campaigning reveals a disconnect. Investigations show she accumulated $750,000 in charges over 6 years, raising questions about accountability and adherence to her own principles. Additionally, her department faces budget shortfalls, yet she continues to spend lavishly on political advertising and initiatives like offering $1,000 incentives to self-deporting illegal immigrants, which could cost up to $1 billion. These actions suggest a disparity between her public commitments to fiscal integrity and her actual expenditure, underscoring the complex and often contradictory nature of political leadership and fiscal stewardship. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.